G'day church, Steve here, and I've got Wendy Fry with me today. G'day Wendy, how are you?
Good, Steve. How are
Good.
you?
I'm very good. Wendy's been with us for a couple of years at church. She comes with the two sons. Wendy, just tell us a little about your growing up years, if you could.
Well, I grew up in Lambton. My sister and I, there's just the two of us. My mum and dad were both non-Christians, actually very active non-Christians. But we lived across the road from a little Anglican church, and they used to send us there for Sunday school. So I came to know the Lord around about the age of 13, but I've had this treacherous kind of walk with the Lord ever since. Yeah, but I live now in Rutherford. I own my own home. I've just recently bought my own home, and the boys and I are back living together. So it's lovely.
That's awesome. Now, you have an unusual coming to MEC story. Can you tell us how you came to MEC?
I do. Well, I was really excited. I ended up admitting myself to a drug and alcohol rehabilitation centre called Who's up at Cessnock. And I was excited to know that on Sundays they came to church. Every other night we had to do an NA or an AA meeting. So I definitely put my name down for MEC, and I've been coming for 4.5 years now. And when I got out of the rehab facility, I kept coming to church. I love it.
Right. That's wonderful. And you had someone tell you about OO. Tell us about OO.
Well, it wasn't long after I got to MEC, Carolyn Burgess handed me this DVD, and she said, "Oh, you'll be interested in this." It was for Overcomers Outreach, and Penny Wilkinson, the lady who started it 17 years ago. So I took it home and I played it, and I was just blown away because, at Who's, we had to go to AA meetings, and I got quite frustrated because they talk about this higher power, but it could be anything. But with Overcomers Outreach, it is a 12-step program, but it is unapologetically the Lord Jesus Christ is the higher power. So I've been facilitating meetings, like 3 meetings ever since. So
let's just go back a little bit. Tell us a bit about addiction. What's it like to be addicted, and what's it like now to be free of addiction?
Well, in addiction, it's terrible because your life is fully consumed by your addiction. Now, mine was alcohol, but there are many, many different addictions: drugs, alcohol, pornography, gambling, overeating, the new one coming up, which is gaming and technology addiction. And some of them are socially acceptable, but most of them aren't. And you keep them to yourself, and you live with a lot of guilt and shame. But when you get to the stage where you come out and say that you're an addict,
yes,
it's freeing. Yeah, it's so rewarding when you admit that you're powerless over your addiction. You can't do it on your own. You need Jesus to help you through it, but you also need your others around you. You need your family. Like MEC have been so supportive of me, and I'm blessed. But it takes a lot to get to that point, to admit that you do have an addiction. But
tell us, is there a hope? Do you have a hope for the future that you could share with us?
In addiction, there is no hope. I think partially for me, you have this sensation of you don't care whether you live or die. But when you're free of addiction, now what I want to do is help the sick and suffering addicts. I want to, in the AA program, step 12 is actually reaching out to the sick and suffering. And it keeps me sober. It keeps me close to the Lord. It keeps me, and it's a daily process. I have to keep working on it, like most Christians.
So your hope is to spend your life serving others and seeing them become free like you.
That's right.
Thanks, Wendy. Really appreciate you sharing your story. We are very proud of you. We think it's
Thank
amazing
you.
to see that how God has worked in your life, and we can't wait to
Yeah.
see what He does next. But
Yeah, me
it's important.
too.
Okay, bye for now.
Thanks, Steve.